Tonight on the news, succor for Ogun flood victims as over 15 communities receive financial aids. President Muhammadu Buhari challenges African youths in the drive to eliminate corrupt practices. NNPC allays fuel scarcity fears, assures Nigerian of adequate supply beyond Yuletide. Team Ogun athletes win gold medals in powerlifting. Don't wait for opportunity, create it. A very good evening to you, and thank you for watching Ogun State Television, Abeokuta. Welcome to our main news, and my name is Idowu Fabajo. During Christmas season and beyond, Nigerians have been enjoined to live harmoniously in love and joy while giving to the needy as exemplified through Jesus by his birth. Ogun State Governor Senator Ibukunle Amosun made the submission at the 33rd Christmas Carol and Service of 9 Lessons of Olorunwo Cathedral Church of Cherubim and Seraphim, Bagada, Lagos. Charity James reports.
For 33 years, the Olorunwo Cathedral Church of Cherubim and Seraphim Lagos has been celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ of the Christian faith through carols and service of 9 lessons, inviting dignitaries who took turns to read lessons of the service from the 1st to the 9th Bible lesson. Reminding Nigerians and indeed the world about the birth of Jesus Christ and reasons for celebrating his birth, Barrister Oluwemimo Ogunde says salvation of the soul is more important than physical wealth.
The Bible has not said that there is no other name that is given among men under heaven, whereby we may have children, or we may build houses, or we may become powerful, or we may become geniuses.
In a message of brotherly cohabitation and selfless love, Ogun State Governor, represented by his deputy, mentions that in love, joy and prayer, the government led by Senator Ibukunle Amosun has been sustained.
We thank the Almighty God for giving us his beloved Son to come to the world at this season, to come and reign in our lives. The reason for this season will be your joy, will be peace, and the Lord will bless you. As our administration is winding down, we still convert your prayers, Daddy, that the Lord Almighty will make Ogun State to be peaceful. All that we desire for Ogun State, the Lord will answer.
The wife of the governor, Dr. Mrs. Olufunsho Amosun, read the 9th lesson of the service. Ogun State and Nigeria was put forward in prayers as led by the founder of the church, Primate Emmanuel Olorunwo. Charity James, OGTV News.
A total of 5,650,000 Nigeria has been disbursed to residents of 15 communities affected by the July 13th, 2018 flood disaster in Ogun State, while sympathizing with the people numbering 226 households. National Officer, Nigerian Red Cross Society, Mrs. Mary Undukwe, says the disbursement per beneficiary was part of the organization's effort to cushion the effects of the unexpected occurrence.
Program that's been going on for a very long time for
Mrs. Ndukwe thereafter enjoined residents to always obey environmental laws as outlined by the government through Environmental Protection Agency. In his contribution, Chairman, Nigeria Red Cross Society, Ogun State Branch, Prince Joseph Obalanlege, says the organization will improve on its relief materials for the affected individuals.
It's relief materials alone that should be extended to them. Also, some 4th of December, we are giving out some amount of money. It's more than 20,000 naira.
Part of the premium of the Nigerian Red Cross in giving necessary assistance to the people extends to the aged, pregnant women, widows, as well as the deserving individuals in the society. Egba Economic Summit has honored its pioneer president, Engineer Olashobande, with the Economic Role Model Award for his immense contributions to the economic of Nigeria, especially in the petroleum industry. The event took place at the Egba Economic Summit Hall, Ibarra, Abeokuta. Rahamat Sanusi's report is presented in this package.
Egba Economic Summit, a non-partisan group, is dedicated to achieving sustainable economic, social and political development generally in Nigeria and Egba land in particular. The summit has produced different innovators and economists both in Nigeria and outside the country, including Engineer Olashobande, one of the pillars behind the association. The president, Egba Economic Summit, Engineer Tokunbo Odebumi, highlighting the objectives of the award, said that Engineer Olashobande's contributions to the growth and development of the nation and Egba land cannot be forgotten.
We feel that as we look outwards, we must also look inwards. Who are the people who deserve our awards internally? Those who have contributed their time, who have labored for the development of Egba land, who have sacrificed their lives, their efforts, their economic contributions in ensuring that the Egba has a strong economy.
Chairman, Membership Directorate, Egba Economic Summit, Mr. Yinka Koka, said the vision of the summit is to agenda the transformation of Egba land into a model domain and influence policies that will take the kingdom and Ogun State to a pedestal. Engineer Olashobande, the awardee, highlights the steps taken for the achievement as he urged the youths to make honesty, transparency and hard work their watchword.
Focus on your education. Never mind whether somebody is riding a car, you're not riding a car. I challenge myself to do better than them.
There were goodwill messages from some of those in attendance.
It's a bridge builder between generations. It can mix with anybody or anything.
Since I've known Engineer Olashobande, the few things that has struck me in his relationship with people is his love for people. He doesn't wave people away for whoever they are.
He's a humble person that you might miss him in the crowd, and he dresses simply, and unless you really know his background.
Engineer Olashobande has contributed immensely to the development of oil and gas sector in Nigeria and has always been a key participator in Nigeria Economic Summit. He was head of Nigeria exhibition team to the International Oil and Gas in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He retired from Shell Nigeria in 2006 after 35 years of meritorious service.
The Ogun State Primary Healthcare Development Board, in collaboration with development partners in the health sector, is set to begin the second round of 2018 Maternal, Newborn and Child Health Week. A release signed by the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Babatunde Ikpaye, said the exercise will hold across the state from Monday 10 to Friday 14 December 2018. The release adds that the exercise would involve the use of government health facilities, temporary fixed posts, and outreaches such as schools, marketplaces, motor parks, and religious houses for administration of vitamin A for children between 6 and 59 months. while screening of malnutrition and deworming would be for the ages of 12 and 59 months, as well as distribution of family planning commodities, HIV/AIDS, counseling and testing for women of childbearing age. Mothers and caregivers are enjoined to avail themselves of the opportunities provided by the week and come out en masse for the exercise. For any information, members of the public can call 0802 599 2897 or 0803 373 3004. Board members, management, and staff of Ogun State Broadcasting Corporation (OGBC) had a Thanksgiving service to commemorate the 42nd anniversary of the establishment of the corporation. The Thanksgiving service aired at All Souls Church of the Anglican Communion, Diocese of Egba, Ibara, Abeokuta, was presided over by the Vicar Archdeacon Venerable Olukumi Adekunle. Elizabeth Esther completes the report.
Board member, management and staff of the Ogun State Broadcasting Corporation appreciating God for sustaining and upholding the corporation for the past 42 years. In a sermon at the Thanksgiving service, Venerable Olukumi Adekunle, Vicar and Archdeacon, All Souls Church, Ibara, Abeokuta, commended the efforts of members of staff of the corporation at informing, entertaining and educating the public.
And one spirit and Holy Spirit manifested himself there. So, as our education,
Mr. Alex Taiwo is one of the pioneering staff of OGBC. He speaks about the corporation established 42 years ago.
Modernity has overtaken everything. Technology has overtaken radio broadcasting, and where we used to sweat it out is now easy. I hope you get it, but nevertheless, this age also has its own challenges, which we didn't have in those days. We now have the challenge of proliferation. Too many radio stations. In those days, there were not more than 5 or 6, but now you have to contend and contest with over 100 radio stations. That means you've got to go extra mile to be able to retain your clientele.
He drops words of advice and encouragement for members of staff.
Let's see our work not as labor, but favor. Favor to showcase our talents, our skills, because we are working, everything in life is cumulative. We are just being prepared for greater assignment in 10, 15, 20 years. When I left here, I went to a multinational in the US, but I got my training here, and I worked in 2 multinationals. But Ogun Radio prepared me for the future. I can tell you as that. I was challenged, I was trained, I was exposed, and I drank it all.
Prayers were offered for God's continued grace over the corporation and members of staff. Ogun State Broadcasting Corporation was established December 9, 1976. Elizabeth Eswon, OGTV News.
And now we shall go on a break, and when we return, we bring you more news and reports. Don't go away. Hey, yo.
Packages and even an optic fiber cable to make sure we optimize. There are 2 things in our lives we depend on: the communication and information, voice and data. Whether you sell, buy, learn, teach, serve, or lead, it really comes out those 2 things, voice or data. Today's world is all about you. You want what you want, how you want it, and Glow delivers. The freedom to use voice and data the way you like on every recharge. Easy.
Glow Yakata, the heavyweight voice and data plan. We charge 100 Naira and get 2,200 Naira. Minimum 500 Naira to call all networks and 10 friends and family. Plus all the data you need, up to 6 gigabytes. Buy a Glow SIM or dial *220# to migrate. Glow, Grandmasters of Data.
Ogun State government is committed towards ensuring that all qualified applicants under the Homeowners Charter Scheme get their certificates of occupancy and building plan approval. Successful applicants who had fulfilled the required application process will continue to receive their certificates of occupancy and building plan approval under the Ogun Homeowners Charter Scheme, as government has sped up documentation and distribution process, which is now carried out bi-monthly.
To this end, another batch of its distribution of 3,000 certificates of occupancy comes up on Tuesday, 11th December 2018 at the Arcade Ground, Governor's Office, Okemoso, Abeokuta.
The exercise will be carried out
by the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture, Mrs. Adepeju Adebaju, from 10 a.m.
The next distribution could be your turn, as our commitment remains unwavering towards ensuring that all qualified applicants under the scheme get their certificates of occupancy.
For more information, please call 0812-1578-107, 0812-1492-085, 0812-6492-518. Ogun State Homeowners Charter Scheme. Be a real landlord.
We're glad to have you back. In case you're just joining us, you're watching the main news on Ogun State Television, Abeokuta. President Muhammadu Buhari has challenged African youths to champion the fight against corruption, saying their involvement is critical to winning the anti-graft crusade in the continent. Buhari gave the challenge while declaring open the 2018 Africa Youth Congress Against Corruption (AYCAC) at the Old Banquet Hall of the Presidential Villa, Abuja. According to him, their involvement will help in reversing the negative trends of corruption and its implications for Africa, saying the youth of Africa must pool their energies to effectively ensure that our natural and mineral resources remain on the continent for value addition, job and wealth creation, as well as to create affordable health care and quality education for our people, as winning the fight against corruption is very much in your hands. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) says it has 50 days efficiency of petroleum ahead of Yuletide. Chief Operation Officer Henry Nkem Obi stated this in Abuja, urged Nigerians not to resort to panic buying. Development in the oil and gas sector following the 7 days ultimatum issued by marketers in the downstream sector of the industry over subsidy debt inherited from previous administration has continued to evoke. The federal government, in a resolve to rip the issue in the board, engaged the marketers and gave an assurance of payment of 236 billion naira first installment by Friday, the 14th December.
It's very wrong, and at this time we need to do something that we can help Nigeria, because Nigeria is bigger than all of us.
On our own part, we'll do all we can to support the government, because our interest is the masses.
Describing the action as an attempt at economic sabotage, the MDPPMC Umar Ajuya says everything possible will be done to avert the traditional end-of-year petroleum scarcity.
There is a commitment from the NNPC and the majors and the unions to ensure that all their workers participate in distribution of petroleum.
Depot and Petroleum Product Marketers Association disassociated itself from the agreement signed with government. Some of the members, however, say they are not party to any action capable of inflicting hardship on Nigerians. Interest in the masses, describing the action as an attempt on the economic sabotage, the MDPPMC said everything possible will be done to avert the traditional end-of-the-year petroleum scarcity. Distribution of petroleum products, they are unanimous that with over 2.8 billion liters of petroleum sufficiency as well as daily importation, there is no cause for alarm. Away from the shores of the country now, French Prime Minister Edouard Philippe has vowed to restore natural unity after violence broke out during a fourth consecutive weekend of protests. Police used tear gas and rubber bullets on Saturday, the latest day of yellow vest demonstrations against fuel tax rises and high living costs. More than 1,700 people were arrested, but the violence was not on the same level as a week earlier. Mr. Philippe has also said discussions with peaceful protesters must continue. Still on the foreign scene now, a helicopter has crashed in eastern Sudan, killing a state governor and at least 4 other officials. The helicopter exploded in flames after it hit a communications tower as it tried to land in the remote Al-Qadif state, according to witnesses. No official reason has yet been given for the crash. A number of people were taken to hospital for treatment, state media reported, without giving more details. Among the dead were Al-Qadif governor Mekanin Sal, his cabinet chief, the local police chief, and agriculture minister. The political situation in Togo has continued to be tensed despite efforts by ECOWAS to check the situation after the election of President for Nasigbe. However, ECOWAS intervention has helped to a large extent to quell the fears of the populace. The Togolese member of ECOWAS Parliament said this while presenting the country's report to the Parliament.
Stability, peace, and security, which are guarantees of any development, are a priority for the Togolese authorities. Togolese people have in the past been able to overcome serious and desperate situations in the 60s and the 90s. They will surpass this and respond to the patriotic call of their anthem. People of Togo, arise, let us build a nation.
And now into the world of sport, the Team Ogun para-athletes have continued to prove their mettle at the 19th National Sports Festival currently ongoing in Abuja. Akim Akintunde reports that the special athletes accounted for the first set of gold medals won by Team Ogun. The duo of Odunuga Oluwapelumi and Temitope Oladele won the gold medals in the 49 kg and 61 kg of the women powerlifting event. Team Ogun now has 2 gold and 2 bronze medals coming from para-athletes, 2 gold and a bronze from powerlifting, and another bronze medal from para-swimming. Gianni Infantino reiterated that FIFA will decide in March whether the 2022 World Cup could be extended to include 48 teams, be it considered it was not a simple decision. 32 teams contested this year's World Cup in Russia, widely featured as one of the most entertaining editions of the modern era. Although FIFA is intent on 48-team future editions of the World Cup from 2026, a decision on Qatar won't be known until next year. When the next edition is held in Qatar, it will be the first to be held in the Arab world and the first in a majority Muslim country. We shall now serve you the weather forecast for Monday. And just before we go on the news tonight, let's remind you that you don't wait for opportunity, create it. And that's all we have for you on our main news for tonight. On behalf of everyone here, we say a big thank you to you for watching and do have a lovely week ahead. Good night.